A day in life of in my life. Actually, it's a Sunday morning for me, and just getting in to do some work. Wanna finish off a couple of things that I'm working on. I have a low-level design that I'm working on with one of the orchestration services that we're busy with. So we have a orchestration microservice um, that calls a bunch of core services, and then we need to sort of hash out the design requirements or technical requirements for that. So I'm working on that. What I'll be doing today is update the Avro schema. So I've created the Avro schema, but I need to add a few fields into that particular schema and just um, two objects I think that I'm missing that I need to add. And then after that schema, what I need to do is then set up the data model, which is the database table for the schema. So what we want to do is actually in the orchestration service, because it calls a number of core services internally, what we want to do is keep a snapshot of the entire transaction so that we can be able to replay that particular transaction. So hence we are opting with a within our space, we do utilize Kafka as an event-driven design for our communications mechanism. So then the schema will then feed off a retriable. In a case the transaction errors out, we can still publish the message into an error topic and then retry that particular transaction. But in a case where the transaction is successful, we'll just store that into an inbound topic and also be able to persist that particular transaction snapshot into a database table. So hence I am adding an Avro schema as well as a database table that we have the two snapshots available, or it's one snapshot just into storage services. So the reason why we also want it to be in the Kafka topic is because if there's a consumer that we want to spin up at any time for those particular messages, we can just create it as a consumer to the particular topic, and it can just pick up those particular snapshots and replay them the way that we want. Otherwise, we just go to database, get that snapshot for that particular transaction, and be able to replay that particular record. So that's what I'll be working on today. It's not a lot that is outstanding. Already had a discussion with my team regarding this, and so far so good. Just need to iron out these few things and then let them know how the service is going to process all these transactions that we're expecting, and then after that this should be good for development. So that's what I'll be doing today. If you're new to the channel, I would really appreciate for you to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for these conversations. We will be talking all things software engineering, database, back end, front end. Particularly, we do Spring Boot back end microservices, and we do Angular front end development. So the latest release, actually, the latest video that I released was about deploying or hosting a static website in AWS S3. So we also do cloud development. If you haven't checked that one out, or you want to host a static website, you can actually just check out that video and then follow through to host your website on AWS S3. I always recommend using free tools because as a new dev or as a junior dev, you would want to take that free tier resources to make sure that your product, your software solution, at least is out there in the world. People can start using it. They can basically be exposed to what you have to offer within the market. And then once you have some feedback or traction on your product, you can then start maybe subscription based payment method, or getting a client for that particular product that can then pay for it so that you can able to better the resources that you are using at the moment. But for as long as there's free resources, I always recommend use those ones. Open source is always the way to go, where you can save a little bit of cash, where you can save a little bit of money. That's one thing that I always recommend. So in this conversation, I just wanted to run you down my Sunday. That's what I'll be doing. And then later on, I'll be chilling and having some lunch, and that's about it for today. And I hope you have a good one. Until next time, for now, cheers.